Hello and welcome to Big Orbit Games' latest unboxing video of the brand new Weiss Schwarz set, Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the movie Rebellion. So, what I'm going to do, go ahead, just open the box, go through all the cards that I see. Puella Magi Madoka Magica is on my list, my eternal list of animes to see, so my apologies if I get things wrong, because I've yet to actually sit and watch it. We've seen Puella Magi Madoka Magica on before in Weiss Schwarz, but this is the new set which is focusing on the movie. So let's open that like that, and let's start with the first booster and the promo. So in each box you get a promo. So we have here the SD Madoka card, which is the promo we've got on this one. So I think there's an SD of each of the main characters. Oh yeah, we've got the case playmat as well. Quite a nice playmat, might I add. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead, jump into these. So you get 8 cards in each booster, and hopefully you're going to pull some interesting cards. So we have Cube saying Q. So I will always apologise for pronunciations. Level 0, 0 cost, no trigger. It has 2 abilities here, so continuously you can put any number of cards with the same card name as this card into your deck. So this is one of the few cards in Weiss Schwarz which allows you to have more than the 4 copies of them. And he's got a second auto ability which costs 2 stock and put a card from hand into the waiting room. So discard a card. When he becomes reversed in battle, you can pay that cost to choose up to 2 cards with the same name in the waiting room, put them onto separate positions of the stage as rest. Choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 2,000 till end of turn. So he sort of can be used as a sacrificial lamb. We have Exterminating Nightmares Madoka. Another level 0. 1 ability, auto, costing 2 stock. When she's put into the waiting room from the stage, you can pay that 2 stock to search your deck for 1 magic character, reveal it to your opponent and put it into your hand. So it lets you search another card out of the deck. Kazuko Satomi, I hope I got that right. Just a generic level 2, 8,500, so respectable power, just no abilities. We then have Puella Magi Holy Quintet Mami. Some interesting artwork there. Auto, you can rest one of your stud characters when she attacks, and if you do, choose one of your other characters and they get plus 2,000 power till end of turn. So you could rest one of your assisters or back row to help with that. Magical Girls Tea Party Mami. So continuous, all of your other magic type characters get plus 1,000 power, which all of the girls in here are. And then she has the auto change ability, so it costs a stock and put this card into the waiting room. You can do this at the beginning of the draw phase to choose a card named I'm Happy Now Mami in your waiting room, put it onto the stage position this card was on, so effectively upgrades it, and hopefully we'll see that I'm Happy Now card later. We have Puella Magi Holy Quintet Kyoko. So we've got one. We should hopefully see one of each of this Holy Quintet throughout the box. She's an assister. All cards in front of her get plus 1 level and plus 500 power, so this is good for enabling side attacking. And she also has the change ability at the beginning of the draw phase for a cost of a stock and card her into the waiting room. And you can choose an unyielding girl Kyoko in the waiting room, put it onto stage position this card was on. So you have a first single rare, Mild Autumn Day Siaka, and she has a continuous ability of plus 500 power for each of the magic characters. She also has the shift ability, which has a little icon there underneath the level and cost. And she shift level 1, so at the beginning of the main phase, choose a blue card in your hand and this card in your clock and exchange them. So it allows you to get this card out of your clock if you've got something else in there. And then we have an impact, sorry. Then we have a climax card of Mild Days. So this is a treasure trigger, which allows you to put the top card of your deck into the stock, which we've seen quite a lot of stock costs already. And all characters get plus 1 game, plus 1 soul. So next pack. Oh, come on, open down your... Hills in the Morning Glow Saka. just level 1. Continuously during your opponent's turn, all of your other characters with Kyoko in the name get plus 1000 power. And when this card is placed on the stage from hand, draw a card, choose a card in hand and put it into your waiting room. So this can be useful for triggering those change abilities. Then we have a No Matter What Happens, Madoka and Homura. This is a level 2, costs you a stock to get it into play. But when she's placed on stage from hand, she gets plus 1500 power till end of turn. So she becomes a 9k level 2 hitter for the turn you play her. An auto ability to put a card named to the outside world from your climax area into your waiting room when she attacks. And if you do, return all cards in the waiting room to the deck, shuffle your deck afterwards, and this guy gets plus 1500 power. So you've got a way to make her a 10,000 plus attacker, and it helps you avoid hopefully having to pay that refresh cost from shuffling your deck by putting everything back in. Farewell to Nightmares Kyoko. So she's a level 0 assister. All characters in front of her get plus 500. And when your character's trigger check reveals a climax, choose one of her characters and they get plus 1000 power. So helps with those triggers. Honest Question Sayaka. She's a backup at level 1, so just helps you keep your characters alive during combat and at no cost. Then we have the usual Homura. She's Encore, put the top card of your deck into your clock, so rather than having to pay the 3 stock, you can just put the top card into the clock so you can damage yourself to keep her alive. And she has the act ability to rest one of your magic characters, so she gets plus 1000 power until end of turn. So you can buffer up to be quite a big hitter if you need to. Farewell to Nightmares Sayaka. Level 0. When your opponent uses the Brainstorm ability, if a climax is put into the waiting room by the effect, you can draw a card. And if you do, choose a card in your hand and put it into your waiting room. So you effectively get to loot a card out of your deck at the cost of a card from hand. And then she has Bond with Exterminating Nightmares Kyoko, and it costs a stock to do this. So when you play this card from onto the stage, you can pay that 1 stock and then choose an Exterminating Nightmares Kyoko in the waiting room and return it to hand. Ooh. Then we have a double R, Doubt Towards the World Kyoko. So make sure I get that lined up. So she's level 1, no cost, with an auto when she becomes reverse. If your opponent is level 1 or lower, you may also reverse that character, so you can take them with you. And when she becomes reversed, choose one of your other magic characters to get plus 1500 power. So good for doing for your initial attacks. And then we have Bearer of Memories climax card. So this has the bounce trigger, where you get to choose one of your opponent's characters and bounce it back to the hand, and all characters get plus 1k and plus 1 soul. I'm making sure I grab these boosters in the right order. Oh, that'll be my next one. So you have a New Morning Kyoko. Hopefully those of you who've seen the film, this is going to bring back some memories and remind you of what's happened in it. So we get to put the top card of the deck into the clock as a cost when she attacks, and if you have new days in the climax area. And if you did, until the end of your opponent's next turn, she gets plus 3000 power, and this card cannot become reversed from your opponent's auto effects. So she becomes immune to the effects and gets a very tidy power boost for a level 1 character. Rebel Homura. Just one simple ability of act, rest one of your magic characters, and she gets plus 1000 power till end of turn. So it's going to be important if you're running this deck to have your back row be filled, I believe, I feel. We have Innocent Girl Nagisa. During your turn, all of your other characters get plus 1000 power, so very good assisting here. And also, when your character's trigger check reveals a climax, choose one of your characters and that character gets plus 2000 power until end of turn. So there's a lot of power buffing going on throughout this set, as you can see. We have the Change of Stance Cube. All of your other characters get plus 500 power, so again, a good assisting character here. And then auto, when this ability activates, which is once per turn, you can use Shift until the end of your opponent's next turn, and this card gets assist all of your characters in front get plus 500. So lots of buffing there. Ooh, dropping cards, sorry. We have Combination Sayaka. This is a level 2, costs you a stock to put into play. Auto, 1 stock, When she's attacked, and if you have True Dream in the climax, you can pay that cost to put the top card of your clock into your waiting room, so you can heal yourself with this one. And then her encore to put the top card of the deck into your clock, which you can then hurt yourself to keep her alive, so she evens out. Hills in the Morning Glow Mami. So the character facing this card cannot move to another stage position on the stage. Very interesting ability against certain other decks. And when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a magic character, put it into your clock. So there's a bit of a cost to playing it though. And we have a single art, A Lonely Fight, Homura. So she's a level 0, auto. When she attacks, all your other characters with Madoka in their name get plus 500 power, so a little boost for you other Madokas. And she bonds with the desired form Madoka at the cost of 1 stock as well. And we also have To the Outside World Climax card, which we saw referenced earlier. So this is just a double soul trigger on there. And when it's placed on the stage, when you play the climax, draw a card, choose a character to get plus 2k and plus 1 soul. So buffing everything like a lot of climaxes do. It's an individual boost. I can pull these up for ease. Put that there. So I'm still doing them in order, just pull them out of the box to make it easier for me. Then have the young looking magical girl Nagisa, who when she attacks, choose one of the other characters to get plus 3k. Puella Magi Holy Quintet Madoka, so this is another one of the quintet, and she's a backup for 3000, so slightly above her power level. Usually they're parallel, so it's cool to see that. Just Kyoko and Homura, just a nice level 0 3000. Ladylike Madoka. So she assists all the cards in front of her with plus 500 power. And then act, put this card into the waiting room to choose one of your magic characters to get plus 2000 power till end of turn. Elegant Strike Mami. So this card cannot become reversed from your opponent's auto effects. And when this card is placed on the stage from hand, reveals that card of the deck. If it's a climax, rest this card. So there's a bit of a cost to playing it, but then she is also 7000 power, level 1 for just 1 stock. So we then have Ultimate Madoka. So she's a level 3, 9500 power, which is pretty average for level 3. But she gets plus 500 power for each of your other magic characters. So there is a potential there for an extra 2000, so she quickly gains that power back. And then, when she's placed on stage from hand or by a change effect, draw 1 card, and she gets plus 2000 power. So effectively, she could become a 13500 hitter. Very nice. Then we have a single rare, Mild Autumn Days, Kyoko. And shift at level 0, and when she comes reverse, you take them with you. And then we have Tiro Duets. So this has got the burn trigger. When the next damage dealt by the attacking character that triggers this card is cancelled, deal 1 extra damage. And all your characters get plus 1k, plus 1 soul. I think the burn's quite a nice one. Nice trigger, just because if your opponent does cancel that big damage you put through, you still get to put a cheeky 1 in the clock for them. A Straight Thought Kyoko. Mysterious Girl Saka. So at the beginning of the climax phase, reveal the top card of the deck if it is a climax. Rest this card. So might be a bit of a downside to having that high power level 0. Rebel Homura. Farewell to Nightmares Kyoko. Town with No Way Out. So this is an event. I don't think we've seen any of these yet. Choose a magic character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Choose one of your characters and that character gets plus 1000 power till end of turn. So this could help you set up if you've got other cards waiting in your waiting room and you need the initial starting for it. Speaking of events, we got another one. Homura's Despair. So this is a level 2 and a cost of 2, which is quite high, so let's see what it does. Choose up to 1 character in your hand with Homura and put it into any position on your stage. Now that can be very useful for playing out some powerful cards. And then we have the single rare, One Who Knows the Truth Nagisa. She's a level 1, no cost to play, and continuously if you have another character with Mami in its name, this guy gets plus 1500 power. So you can sort of see this idea of creating almost like paired off decks coming through here. And then we have Guide to Salvation, so double soul trigger on there. And then when it's played, choose one green card in the waiting room, put it into your stock, and all your characters get +1 soul. So if Hills in the Morning Glow Circa, no matter what happens. Homura's confrontation with Mami. So it's a level 1, costs you 1, but again 7,000 power, so it's a decent hitter for the cost. Kyoko Homura. Resolution to become a witch Homura. So she's an assister. All your characters in front of her get +X power, where X is 500 multiplied by the number of characters you have with assists. If you've got 2 of them out, that's a nice tidy 1,000 power. And then when this card is placed on stage from hand, if the number of your other magic characters is 4 or more, you may put the top card of the deck into your stock. So as long as you've got a full field when you play her, this allows you to get a bit of extra stock so she recovers her own cost. Lively Evening Mami. All of your characters in front gets +500 power, and then you can rest this card to choose another character to get +1 level. Good for side attacking. Then we have a single R, Exterminating Nightmares Seka. So this is part of the one of the combos. When she's placed on stage from hand, if the number of your other magic characters is 4 or more, put the top card of your deck into your stock. So again, helping neutralise her cost. And when your other magic characters attack, this card gets +1,000 power till end of turn, so 9,000 hitter. Quite a nice number there. And then we have Reunion and Alliance Climax. So this is the gate trigger. Choose a character from the waiting room and return it to your hand. Good if one of your guys has been killed off. And all your characters get +1,000 power and soul. So you have Young Looking Magical Girl Nagisa. When she attacks, choose one of your other characters to get +3,000 power till end of turn. That is a tiny little boost. A New Morning Kyoko. Change of Stance Cube. Yeah, we have seen that one, sorry. Just trying to remember. Puella Magi Holy Quintet Mami. Pinpoint Targeting. So we haven't seen this version, like I say, yet. So she's a level 2, costs of 1. And when she's placed on stage from hand, she gets +1,500 power till end of turn. And auto at the cost of 1 stock. When this card's level 2 or higher opponent becomes reverse, you can pay that stock to search your deck for up to 1 magic character, reveal it and put it into your hand. So you get to search your deck for pretty much any of these girls, so useful. Then we have Hitomi's Nightmare. So this is an event card. Draw up to 1 card, choose one of your characters, and they get +2,000 power till end of turn, but then this card goes into the memory, not the waiting room. So you're only going to be pulling this off once. And then Magical Girls Tea Party Kyoko. So 1 long ability here. So she's level 0, no cost, but when she's placed on the stage, you can pay a stock and put a card from hand into the waiting room to choose one of your characters until end of turn. They get +1,000 power, and when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, choose a character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So again, she neutralises her own cost if you need to, or can get back another piece of combo that you need. Then we have New Days, Climax, nice and simple, double soul trigger, and all your characters get +2 soul. Lots of soul going around on that one. So, conducting experiment, Cube. So put a magic character from your stage into your waiting room as a cost when it attacks, and if you have Law of the Cycle Observer in your climax, and then this card gets +3,500 till end of your opponent's next turn. So not just your turn, but your opponent's next turn. He becomes an 8,500 power level 1. That is a very respectable number. Exterminating Nightmares Mami. If she's facing a level 3 or higher, this card gets +3,000 power. So good for late game facing off against a powerful opponent. Hills in the Morning Glow. Homura's Determination. Press one of your stud magic characters when she attacks to choose one of your other magic characters to get plus 2000. Usual Homura. Mermaid Witch appears. So this is an event, costs you 2 at level 2. If the number of magic characters you have is 2 or less, this card cannot be played. So choose one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower characters and put it onto the bottom of your opponent's deck, and then this card goes to the memory. So this can tuck one of your opponents, say their level 3 character perchance, to the bottom of their deck, so they're not going to be seeing it for a while, and then you have to put this into your memory. So you have a double R here, Mami's Confrontation with Homura. 1 long ability, which costs 1 stock when she attacks, and if you have Unavoidable Clash in your climax. You get to look at the top 4 cards from the top of the deck, choose 1 magic character from among them. Well, they're all girls, aren't they? Reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room, and she gets plus 2000 power till end of turn. And we have the Bearer of Memories, which is the bounce trigger. So, hopefully fans of Puella Magi Madoka Magica are happy about this set and enjoying it so far. So we have Mysterious Gal Seka. So at the beginning of the climax phase, reveal the top card of the deck. If it's climax, rest this card. Fair and Beautiful Mami. Oh. So she's a shift card. So it allows you to choose your yellow card in hand and this card in your clock and switch them. And for that, she has the continuous ability of if the number of other characters you have is 1 or less, she gets plus 1500. So good early game, or if your opponent's just been hyper aggressive and knocked a lot of your stuff out. Kyubey Manifestation, so just a vanilla grade level 1. Kazuka Satomi. Elegant Strike Mami. Ultimate Madoka. Madoka from the New World, so this is a single R. It's a level 0, and if the number of cards in your stock is 2 or less, she gets plus 1500, which the amount of stock costs going around, despite some of them replacing it, there's a good chance you will be quite low on stock. So, and then we have the New Days Climax card. So just going to get the rest of the boosters out of this box and put them in order. Ooh, come on. You're almost there. There we go. So Straight Thought Kyoko. Exterminating Nightmares. Innocent Girl. Homura. Are they really innocent? Spectacular Plan Kyubey. So it's level 1, and if the number of cards in your hand is 6 or more, he gets plus 1500 power. Again, becoming to 6500 beat stick. Hills in the Morning Glow. And Magical Girls Tea Party Seka. So I don't think we've seen this one yet. We've seen one of the other ones, but not this one. So Encore, put the top card of your deck into your clock. So you can save her by damaging yourself. And then Act, put a climax card from hand into the waiting room. So until the end of turn, she gets plus 1000 power. And auto when this card's battle opponent becomes reverse, draw a card. So she gives you a bit of card advantage along the way as well. We have Circus True Identity. I think this one's Gate, actually, sorry, the Gate trigger. When it triggers, you may choose a climax in the waiting room, return it to your hand, and then all of your characters get plus 1k and plus 1 salt. We'll see, I think we've got Magical Girls Tea Party. Do they actually line up into an artwork? Probably not. Shame. It's always nice when cards line up into a piece of art. Sakura Madoka and Winter Day, so this is just a level 0 vanilla. Junior and Senior Mami and Madoka, so I'm sure there's some fans out there who will like this card. In game though, during your turn, this card gets plus 500 power for each of your other magic characters. So again, plus 2000 boost potentially, 9500, which is at the level of a lot of level 3s. And when it attacks, if you have Tiro Duet in your climax area, you can choose one of your opponent's characters and return it to your opponent's hand, so you can even clear the way to get a bit of extra soul damage through. Hills in the Morning Glow. Determination. True Power Madoka. So, this is just a level 1 that costs a stock to play. When she attacks, reveal the top card of the deck. If it's a magic character, she gets plus 2,000 power till end of turn. So again, becoming an 8k. So it could be a bit risky to attack if you want that 8k, but hopefully not too risky. And then Encore, put a character from hand into the waiting room. So discard a card to keep her alive. Mascot, QA. So he's a level 2, costs you 1. Put a card from hand into the waiting room as a cost when he's placed on stage from hand. To choose a magic character in your waiting room and return it to hand. So again, getting things back. And when it attacks, choose one of your other characters to get plus 1,500 power until end of turn. Lots of passing out of power buffs. And there's a single R, Real Memories, Homura. One ability. Oh, no, we haven't seen this one. We've seen a very similar one though. So, sorry, I'll carry on. Auto. Pay 1 stock and put the top card of your deck into your clock, so damage yourself. You can do this when she's placed on stage from hand to choose a card in your clock and return it to your hand and put the top card of your deck into your clock. So a bit of clock manipulation there, but ends up damaging yourself for it. And we have Truth Behind the Barrier climax. So this is the treasure climax, I believe. Treasure trigger. I always forget the names of them, sorry. But when it's triggered, you get to put the climax back into hand and the top card of your deck into your stock. So yeah, so you might be able to get this climax actually into play that way then, which can be useful to actually play them, rather than have them stuck in your stock. So 2 best friends, Homura and Madoka. No. Just 1 ability for this level 0. If the number of your other characters is 2 or more, this card gets plus 1,000 power. So they're all magic. So she's going to be a 3,500 level 3. Level 0, sorry, level 3. Conducting an experiment. Mission to fight Homura and Madoka. So this is just a vanilla level 0, no abilities. Mami's friend Baby. Another vanilla level 0. A Morning Sight Kyoko. So she's a level 2, costs of 1 stock, with 1 auto ability which can activate up to 2 times per turn. So when your other magic character is placed on stage from hand, she gets plus 1,000 power. So she can become a 10k grade 2, level 2 hitter. And Puella Magi Madoka Homura. So we've seen Homura now from the quintet. All of your other magic characters get plus 500 power. And Actor, costing 1 stock to choose one of your magic characters to get plus 1,000 power. Then have the single R, Memories of a Witch Sheka. Again, I apologise throughout this entire video if I pronounced anything wrong. So she's got the Brainstorm ability. So it costs you 1 stock to reveal 4 cards from the top of the deck, put them into your waiting room, and for each climax, search your deck for a magic character and reveal it to your opponent, put your hand, choose a card in your hand, put it into the waiting room. So you get cards, but you have to discard cards, and then as always, shuffle your deck. Then we have the True Dream Climax, double soul trigger on there, and when you play it, draw a card, and then choose one of your characters to get plus 2k and plus 1 soul. Right, so Fair and Beautiful Mami, QB, Deceptive Homura, Suko. Ooh, a new encounter, a level 3 as well. So this is a level 3 event card with a cost of 5 stock. 5, that's a huge amount. So let's see what we get for that. So if the number of other characters you have with Mami or Nagisa in its card name is 5 or more, until end of turn, all of your characters get plus 3,000 power, and the following ability, Auto. This ability activates up to once per turn. When damage dealt by this card is cancelled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. Whew. So that is a very powerful event card. I can understand why it's 5 cost. Getting an extra 9,000 on your front battle line, plus chipping in that extra damage, that is an absolute beast of a card. So we have the Holy Quintet Seika. If the number of cards in hand is 6 or more, she gets plus 1,500 power. And at the cost of 1 stock, you can draw a card and then discard a card. And then Singular and Yielding Girl Kyoko. So she's a level 2, cost of 2. Auto, put a character from your hand into your waiting room. When this card is placed on stage from hand, pay the cost to put this card into your waiting room. If you do not, so you have to pay to keep her there. And auto, pay 1 stock when she attacks if you have Reunion Alliance in your climax area. To choose a character in your waiting room, return it to hand, and she gets plus 1500 power to your opponent's next turn. And then we have Mild Days climax. So that new encounter event card is fantastic. I'm highly impressed. Of course, it's level 3, so it's late game when you do it, so hopefully you're going for just one big last push. So you have Exterminating Nightmares, Mami and Madoka, Feelings of Love Hitomi, Kyubey, The Only Hope Homura. So she has Assist, Change and Shift. So lots of moving around for this one. Living Every Day Like a Dream, Mami. So all of your other One Who Knows the Truth Nagisas get plus 500 power and Encore put a character from hand into the waiting room to keep them alive. And she bonds with the One Who Knows the Truth Nagisa as well. And then we have a double R, one guided by the Law of the Cycle Saka. So there's 3 different abilities here for this level 3. So first one is continuous. If the number of climaxes in your waiting room is 6 or more, so that's pretty much all of them, she gets -1 level in your hand. So a good way, if you can set that up, that's very useful for getting to play her early. Auto, at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, if this card is in your center stage, choose one of your characters and they get plus 4000 power till end of turn. Whew. An auto, plus for 1 stock. When she attacks, if you have seconds to her identity in your climax area, you can pay that stock to search your deck for up to 2 magic characters and put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. So she does quite a bit there, quite versatile level 3 actually. And then we have Law of the Cycle Observer Climax, which is just a double soul trigger. You get to draw a card and one character gets plus 2k and plus 1 soul. So we have another Holy Quintet Madoka. Oh, sorry. Another Winter Days. A Ladylike. An Honest Question. Hills in the Morning Glow. Oh, Singular, Unchanging Smile Madoka. So she's a level 2, cost of 1 stock, and her ability, the cost is to put a magic character from hand into the waiting room and rest one of your stand characters. You can do this when she attacks if you have Mild Days in the climax area, to search your deck for up to 2 magic characters, reveal them into hand, shuffle the deck. So it just gets you to search out extra cards, which always useful. And then we have the Tiro Duet with the Burn Trigger climax. So we've seen quite a lot of the commons now, so obviously going through those. And then hopefully we'll see some more exciting rares. More tea parties. More quintet. So, A Painful Thing, Madoka. So another level 3. So, if the number of climaxes in your waiting room is 6 or more, she gets -1 level, similar to the other level 3 we saw. And then auto, when she's placed on stage from hand, you can choose a magic character in your clock with a level equal to or less than your level, and put it into any position of your stage. But if you do, put the top card of your deck into your clock. So sadly it doesn't heal you, which would have been awesome. But it does get, maybe you've got something you've had to clock on that turn, so hopefully it gets something useful out of the clock for you there. Then we have True Dream Climax with a double sword trigger. So, Mission to Fight. Mami's Friend, Feelings of Love, quite a few vanillas there. A World Tampered with event card. It says level 1 with no cost, and each player returns all cards in the waiting room to their deck and shuffles the deck. So this just refreshes both players. Not sure entirely how useful it'd be for yourself, seeing as there's quite a few sort of changing shifts you want to do, but it could be quite irritating for your opponent. So, Worrying Madoka. So she bonds with, for Madoka's sake, Homura. And then she also has Shift level 0 as well. So, interesting card. Ooh, we have an SR, which is a Desired Form Madoka. So I'll read the ability and show you the card a bit closer up. When she's placed on stage from your hand, she gets plus X power until end of turn, which is 500 multiplied by the number of magic characters you have. So that could be a nice 2,500 boost there, which at no cost to play. Whew. You can just see how lovely and shiny that background is there on this SR. Very pretty. And then we have a To the Outside World climax. So no matter what happens, more morning glows. Another change of stance. Mascot, Mami and Negasa. Oh. So it's level 0, one ability, which is an auto, costing a stock and a card from your hand to the waiting room. You can do this when she's placed on stage from hand to search your deck for a magic character, reveal it to your opponent and put it into your hand. So again, just searches them out of your deck. And we have a Guide to Salvation. So this is a double soul trigger on here. And then when you play it, choose a green card in the waiting room to put into your stock, and all your characters get +1 soul till end of turn. So, penultimate pack. So we've had an SR, which is quite nice. Let's see what we can get in this one though. Combination. Madoka Thinking of Homura. So this is level 1. No cost to play, but no trigger either. She cannot side attack. And when this card attacks, if you have Guide to Salvation in your climax area, until end of turn, this card gets plus 3,500 power, so an 8,500 hitter at level 1 is very nice. And the following ability of when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your deck into your stock. So she costs no stock to play and has the potential to gain you more additional stock each turn. So very useful. And we have Unavoidable Clash. So double soul trigger. And when you play it, choose the yellow card in the waiting room to put into your stock, and all your characters get +1 soul. So, final pack. Let's see what we get in this final booster. So we've got a Rebel, a Negasa, a Kyoko and Homura, a Ladylike, a New Encounter. I love this event card. It's such a high cost, but it's fantastic. Another Holy Quintet, and we got an Exterminating Nightmares Kyoko. So this is a level 2 with a backup. And then you can also pay 2 to put a character from stage into your waiting room when you use backup, to choose one of your opponent's characters with a level higher than your opponent's level and put it into your opponent's waiting room. So a little bit of a narrow card, but helps shift those players who've played down those level 3s a bit early using the minusing level abilities that some of them have. So a bit narrow, but useful. And then we have Law of the Cycle Observer as our final climax. And there we go. That is everything from our Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the movie Rebellion booster pack. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. My apologies, I've not yet watched the show or the movie. Like I said, it's on my eternal list of animes to watch, which one day I will slowly work through. Overall, it seems like Weiss Schwarz seems to be doing a lot more simplistic beat stick decks. There's nice interactions with the shifts and the changes and the waiting room, but overall they just seem to buff each other's power levels and just smash through everything. So it should be a relatively simple deck with some just interesting self-interactions. So there we go. Interesting set overall. I love that event card, New Encounter. I think it's fantastic to see something like that. Yeah, there we go. That is everything from the unboxing. So remember, everything you see in here today can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. Remember to like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.